he got his revenge without getting caught. A man who was being bullied at work for having a girlfriend older than him finally had enough of it when he snapped at one of his colleagues who made fun of his relationship. Our hero was in his mid-20s and worked in a rather toxic environment where people liked to make fun of others. But eventually their constant jabs became too much for him and he started snapping back. However, this only made things worse because not only did his colleagues become even meaner towards him, but management also started taking notice of him because of his attitude. For example, they would make fun of people's appearance, relationship status, and even family. So you can imagine how bad it was for someone like our protagonist who was in a long-distance relationship with a woman in her late 30s while all his colleagues were single. Our hero lost his temper and said some pretty harsh things to him. Before leaving, he made sure to send all the evidence he had collected to both HR and his direct manager. Needless to say, there was a huge uproar in the company after they discovered the true extent of their colleagues' behavior. His colleagues were suddenly very nice to him and invited him to go out with them. In the end, our hero got his revenge by exposing his colleagues' behavior and getting them fired. At the same time, he didn't get caught because he had enough evidence to back up his claims. Of course, he declined the invitation and HR made sure that he was moved to another department where his colleagues were more professional. His colleague was taken aback by the sudden outburst and before he could say anything, our hero continued, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. It's just that lately I've been under a lot of stress and my girlfriend helps me relieve that stress." Then he leaned closer to his colleague and whispered, "I know she's older than me, but she's very experienced and knows exactly what to do." His colleague blushed and quickly apologized, thinking that our hero was referring to sexual intercourse. For the first few months, he just ignored them and tried to focus on his work. You see, our hero was very talented at what he did and was considered indispensable. So management didn't want to lose him. He explained that he had no choice but to quit due to the hostile work environment. And when HR told him that his colleagues were being investigated, he agreed to return to work. This included the date, time, and a detailed description of each event. He did this for 2 weeks straight until he had enough material to make management regret ever talking to him. They called him into the manager's office and gave him an ultimatum: shape up or ship out. Do you have a story about a time when you had to stand up for yourself? If so, share it in the comments below. We would love to hear your story. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. So he decided to get revenge on his colleagues without getting caught. The first step in his plan was to collect evidence of his colleagues' behavior. You see, he knew that if he went to HR with his claims, they would need proof of what was happening. So he started recording audio messages of his colleagues making fun of him and other employees. He also saved hundreds of messages from his company email that showed his colleagues' true colors. This is where our protagonist decided that enough was enough. He would not be bullied around anymore, but he also couldn't risk losing his job because he needed that income. At the same time, our hero started documenting everything, every little thing that happened at work. Then came the day when our hero confronted one of his colleagues who made fun of his relationship yet again. The following Monday, our hero went to the manager's office and submitted his 2 weeks' notice. Our hero received a call from an HR representative a few days later asking him why he had left the company and if he would be willing to come back. When he got back, everything had changed. As for his former colleagues, they were all fired because their behavior was deemed unacceptable. This just goes to show that you should always document everything. You never know when it might come in handy.